Welcome to today's Explainer. I am so glad you're joining us because today we are unpacking something that literally impacts every single one of us every single day. We're looking at the modern daily attack surface. Just think about it. Our interconnected daily digital routines from the exact moment we wake up to the second we finally go to sleep have exponentially grown the avenues attackers can use to target us. So in this Explainer, we are going to walk through a typical day in your digital life and uncover exactly where these hidden threat vectors live.
Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, though, let's lay down a quick foundation. What exactly do we mean when we say attack surface or threat vector? Basically, it's the broad spectrum of entry points that attackers use to compromise your security. In our highly interconnected world, every convenient tool we use, whether that's your morning email, a quick text message, a downloaded file, or even a voice call, is a potential avenue for cyber threats. Every convenience introduces a new door, and we really need to understand how attackers are trying to pick the locks.
Okay, let's dive into this. For this CompTIA Security Plus objective, here is our roadmap. First, we'll hit the modern attack surface. Second, threats in your messages. 3, weaponized images and files. 4, the danger of voice calls. And finally, number 5, strengthening those cyber defenses.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the modern attack surface, waking up to threats.
And rolling right into Part 2, threats in your messages, the morning routine.
I want you to picture your typical morning. The alarm goes off, you reach over to your nightstand, grab your phone, and squint at the bright screen. Boom! Without even rolling out of bed, you've immediately interacted with the modern attack surface. Still groggy, the very first thing most of us do is check our notifications, right? We look at emails, texts, direct messages. Well, attackers absolutely weaponize this immediacy. On one side, we have traditional email phishing. This is where attackers send malicious links or attachments, sometimes using highly targeted spear phishing techniques aimed directly at you or your organization with personalized information. On the flip side, we have smishing. That's SMS phishing. Because we generally view text messages as more private and secure, attackers exploit that trust. They'll shoot you an urgent fake bank alert claiming your account has been compromised, just to induce a sense of panic and trick you into clicking a malicious link before you have time to think critically.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why SMS is such a massive target for attackers. We literally rely on text messages for our actual security. Just walk through a standard challenge response authentication with me. You try to log in, and that prompt triggers a one-time password sent straight to your phone. You either punch in that code, or maybe you just reply yes or no to the text, and just like that, authentication is completed. We use this every single day to lock down our most sensitive accounts.
But here is the scary reality we really need to confront. Relying on SMS for security introduces severe vulnerabilities. Those super convenient yes or no texts, they're entirely vulnerable to on-path attacks, what we used to call man-in-the-middle attacks. Attackers can intercept those one-time passwords right out of the air. SMS is also wide open to SIM takeovers, brute force attacks, keyboard logging, and of course, direct phishing. We're essentially trusting our digital lives to a delivery mechanism that has some fundamental security flaws.
I really want to pause on this concept for just a second, because it is the core reason behind so many of these vulnerabilities. Most cell phones are computers. I know, it sounds super obvious when you hear it, right? But we tend to treat our phones like these magical, impenetrable communication bricks. They aren't. Because they're computers, they are susceptible to the exact same common access attacks as the desktop sitting in your office.
Now, moving past SMS, let's contrast traditional email spam with SPIM, which is spam over instant messaging. Look, traditional spam in your email is annoying, sure, but we usually expect it and filter it out. Instant messaging, on the other hand, the platforms we use for quick back-and-forth chats, conveys a massive sense of immediacy. If an attacker gains access to a known contact's account and shoots you a link via IM, you are way more likely to click it. Why? Because you trust the sender and the platform just feels conversational and safe.
Consider this totally relatable example. You might be hanging out on a Discord server and suddenly have someone hop on and send dozens of unwanted messages, maybe protesting something. It's a bit funny to imagine, but honestly, it's a real disruption. And this doesn't just happen on Discord. Attackers use SPIM to blast unwanted messages and scam offers across WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, Facebook Messenger, the whole shebang. Oh, and a quick pro tip. If you ever face this, there are free services out there like SpamCop that provide DNS-based blocking lists to help mitigate these spammers.
All right, let's move on to Part 3, Weaponized Images and Files, the Workday Traps.
Okay, so your morning routine is over, you've finally made it to your desk, and the workday officially begins. This is where opening seemingly boring spreadsheets or clicking on digital images introduces an entirely new set of hidden traps. Now, what's really interesting here is how it breaks down the invisible threats sitting right on your desktop. Take a look at the file-based threats. We are talking about standard PDFs, spreadsheets, and Word docs. Attackers embed harmful scripts directly into these things, and the malicious code triggers the exact second you open the file. Then think about digital images. We share pictures constantly, but attackers can actually hide destructive code right inside the image or manipulate its metadata. So you think you're just looking at a harmless picture, but you're actually executing hidden code that compromises your system. Wild, isn't it?
Let's shift gears to Part 4, the danger of voice calls, the human element.
As our digital workday pushes into the afternoon, notice how the attacks shift. They move away from purely technical exploits and start directly targeting your psychology. Let's define two major concepts here: phishing, which is just voice phishing, and spoofing. Basically, attackers aren't just sending emails anymore, they are actively calling you. They'll manipulate the caller ID to make it look like your bank or your IT department or a trusted vendor is on the other line. By impersonating a legit entity and spoofing a trustworthy number, they completely bypass your personal security filter. They use that fake authority and a false sense of urgency to trick you into handing over personal or financial information right then and there.
And finally, Part 5, strengthening cyber defenses, the human firewall. With threats coming at us from texts, emails, files, images, and phone calls literally all day long, what are we supposed to do? Let's take a breath, slow down for a second, and shift from the problems to the solutions. The absolute crucial point is this: protecting an organization's attack surface requires a solid blend of technical safeguards and behavioral awareness. On the tech side, you need robust spam filters, secure email gateways, updated antivirus, and strict software patching to catch those malicious files and links before they ever trigger. You also need secure call authentication methods to fight off phishing. But honestly, the absolute most important piece of the puzzle is that last one: ongoing user training. Technology can only catch so much. You and I have to be able to spot the weird texts, verify the unexpected phone calls, and just pause for a second before opening untrusted files. Which leaves us with this final thought. You can install all the antivirus software in the world, you can patch every computer, and you can lock down your entire network. Your devices might be secure, but is your trust? Attackers are exploiting your daily routines and your natural human inclination to trust the messages and calls you receive. So as you go back to your day, look at your phone, glance at your inbox, and ask yourself, what will you click next? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious, and as always, stay secure.